Now, in this section of the tutorial, we're going to learn how to do something really useful. It's one of those things that a lot of times on your test you'll have a need for, and knowing how to do it in your calculator is going to save you a lot of time. A lot of times in math, you'll want to convert between degrees and radians. So for those of you taking trigonometry, or even some of you in Algebra 2, and definitely when you're in calculus and beyond, you'll be constantly converting back and forth between degrees and radians. And hopefully you'll probably memorize a lot of these conversions in the process, but if you don't have them memorized, it's really good to know how to let your calculator do the dirty work and let you do that conversion for you. And the good news is it's really easy to do. The calculator is really good at that sort of thing. So let's say first we want to convert from degrees to radians. Maybe we have a 30-degree angle. We want to know how many radians that's equal to. So what you first need to do is, if you're trying to convert to radians, you need to go into the mode menu and make sure that the calculator is actually in radian mode. So we'll go down here and select radians and hit enter. So that one will be the guy that'll start blinking. So now we're in radian mode. So any angle that we put into this calculator at this point is going to automatically, assume to be in radians. But we don't want, to start off in radians. We want to start off in degrees and have the calculator convert to radians. So since we've set the calculator up now, it's in radian mode, what we need to do is tell it how many degrees we have, and then it'll then convert for us. So let's say we're looking at a 180 degrees, okay? So 180 degrees, but if we just type in 180 and hit enter here, the calculator is going to assume that if this were an angle, it's going to assume that we're 180 radians, but that's not what we want. So what we need to do is become familiar with everything inside of this angle menu down here. This angle menu has a lot of neat little utilities. So you hit second function and then hit angle down here, and the first three of these really is what we're going to be concerned with. So the little circle up here is the degree circle. So if we just go ahead and hit enter here, then it's going to put a little degree mark right outside here of the 180 that we have. Now at this point, if we hit enter, the calculator is going to know, because we've put this here, that this is 180 degrees. But since we've already told the calculator to operate in radians, because we went in the mode menu, then what it's going to do is automatically convert this to radians. And so what you're going to get is 3.14159 radians. And this number should look familiar to you. This number is pi. So for those of you who have done, this is why I picked this example first, for those of you who have done, basic trigonometry, you'll know that in the unit circle, 180 degrees is way over here. If this is your unit circle, 180 degrees is way over here, which is pi radians. So what if you go full circle over here to 360 degrees? Well, we do 360. We go into the angle menu right here. We have to tell it we're doing degrees, so we hit enter. So it says, okay, 360 degrees, and when I hit enter, it's going to convert to radians because I've set that up in the mode menu. And we'll see 6.28 radians. And for those of you, again, who've done this a little bit, you'll realize that all the way around the unit circle one full time is 2 pi radians, and 6.28 is 2 times 3.14, so it returns the right number. So of course, you can do anything you want. You could say, okay, I have 12.569 degrees. And I'll just go ahead and put degree mark there. So 12.569 degrees is equal to 0.219 radians. So it's really useful to be able to convert back and forth like that. And a lot of times you'll be doing that. Now, that's how you convert from degrees and convert into radians. Now, how do you do the reverse? How do you calculate and go from radians to degrees? Before we get there, I want to show you one more thing here. A lot of times when you're dealing with radians, obviously radian, unit of measure, if you go one time around the circle is 2 pi radians, halfway around the circle is pi radians. So you're never really dealing with very large values of radians because the entire circle is only 2 pi radians. But a lot of times when you're dealing with angles and radian measure, you want to express it in terms of pi. So let's pick another fairly easy one. Let's say I have 45 degrees, right? So we go over here to angle and we tell it, okay, I'm gonna hit enter. So we have 45 degrees. Let's see how many radians that is. So you do that and you get a number, 0.785 radians. That's true, that's the answer, that's perfectly fine. But what if I want to sort of represent this as a fraction of pi. A lot of times when you're dealing in trig, you want to talk about pi over 2 radians, pi over 3 radians, pi over 6 radians. So if I want to convert this to a number like that, the easiest way to do it is just take the last answer, which is what just popped out here, and divide it by pi. So I'm going to use this guy because if I have pi right here, I'm going to divide this answer by pi, and I'm going to get a number. And then I'm going to take that last answer, and I'm going to go into the math menu, which we've already learned how to do to convert numbers to fractions. So I'm going to send that last answer into a fraction, and I'm going to get 1/4. So because I've divided by pi, what you need to remember is that whatever fraction you get, you have to stick pi on the end. So this basically becomes pi over 4 radians. And you should know, again, that's why I picked this example, that 45 degrees is pi over 4 radians. If you've done any work with the unit circle, that probably should ring a bell for you. Let's go off and do another one. Let's say we have 90 degrees. So I'll go over to the angle menu. I'll say, okay, I've got 90 degrees. I'm curious how many radians that is. I get a number back. Okay, it's just a decimal number. What if I want to express it in terms of a fraction of pi? I just divide by pi. Whoops, I got to go back and hit delete. So I'm going to hit divide by pi. I'm going to get a number, and I'm going to send that number into a fraction by going into the math menu and hitting the very first thing. I'm going to send that answer to a fraction. Of course, that becomes 1/2. But just remember, I've divided my pi out, so whatever fraction I get, I got to stick pi back in there. So it's pi over 2, or 1/2 pi. So that's another one that you should know. 90 degrees is pi over 2. But of course, it works for anything. What if I had 56.9 degrees? So I'll go in here into the angle menu, and I'll stick a degree symbol on there. And I'll convert that to radians. Okay, I've got a nice radian number. I'll take that last answer, and I'll go in the math menu, and I'll send that to a fraction. And I will get, looky here, I can get the same decimal back. Basically, if, well, actually I did that a little bit wrong. Let me go and take that last answer. Let me divide by pi, because I forgot that step actually. I'll divide by pi. Let me go back here and delete that. And I'll divide by pi. Okay, so now I have this number, and this is exactly the same thing that I did last time. And I'll take that, and I'll go in the math menu, and I'll try to send that to a fraction. Let's see what happens. So it does present us a fraction, 569 over 1800 pi. Obviously, it's not a fraction that you'll deal with very much. 569 over 1800. I mean, you wouldn't really ever use that. But this is mostly used if you're really trying to get your basic angles: pi over 6, pi over 9, 3 pi over 2. 5 pi over 6 radians, things like that. If you get crazy fractions back like this, or if it just spits back the decimal back in your face, then that means that the calculator's not able to simplify it into a fraction, and it's just an odd radian measure that's not going to be a nice fraction of pi. So if it does that, then don't worry about it. That's just the way it is. Sometimes you don't get nice fractional answers for pi. Okay, so that pretty much covers converting degrees into radians. Now let's go the reverse direction. Let's go from radians and let's convert into degrees. Now in order to do that, I need to go into the mode menu, and since I'm converting into degrees, I need to switch the calculator over into degree measure. So I'm going to exit out of here. Now I'm in degree measure. Now every number that I type in here that's an angle is going to be interpreted to be degrees. So we have to do sort of the reverse. We need to tell the calculator how many radians we have. And then once we have the number of radians, then it'll just convert to degrees. So let's say we have pi over 4, let's say. So let's go pi divided by 4, close parentheses. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the angle menu here, and notice that there is an R here. This stands for radian measure. So instead of a degree symbol, radian, they're going to have a little R here. So when I stick the R out here, that's telling the calculator, okay, this thing that I just input here is radians. And when I hit enter, because I've already got the calculator set up in degrees, it's going to convert that to degrees for us. And it returns 45 degrees. And you should know that pi over 4 is 45 degrees. Pi over 4 radians is 45 degrees. Now let me give you one hint here. If you do this kind of thing with fractional pi, you really need to enclose it in parentheses. Let me show you what happens if you don't do that. If you just take pi divided by 4 and then go into the angle menu and stick a radian measure on the answer, you're not going to get the right answer. And the reason is because the calculator is going to interpret this, because there's no parentheses, it's going to think you have 4 radians here. It's going to think that you're taking the number pi and dividing it by 4 radians. rather than what you really mean, which is pi/4 radians, convert that to degrees. So anytime you're converting from radians to degrees, my advice really is just to go ahead and enclose them in parentheses. You know, what if we had pi divided by 6? And then you could take that, and you're going to need to put a radian little measurement on there to tell it that you're dealing with radians. You hit that, 30 degrees. So you should all know that 30 degrees is pi/6 radians. So that is a really good introduction to converting from degrees into radians and from radians into degrees. And there's one more thing that I want to show you in this section that's really in the same measure or in the same menu. First of all, make sure that you're in degrees, which you are. Now, those of you who've looked at maps, latitude and longitude, have probably seen that you can have degrees, but you can also split a degree into a certain number of minutes and a certain number of seconds. And just to remind you guys, for those of you who don't really know, if you take a degree up, if you look on a map, a degree can be divided up into 60 units, and we call those units minutes. So it's almost like a clock. So you have 360 degrees in a circle. Each degree can be divided up into a minute, and each minute can be divided up into 60 seconds. So there's degrees, and then you can divide every one of those degrees into 60 minutes, and then each one of those minutes can be divided into 60 seconds. It's something that we don't use too often in math, because usually we just care about, when we represent a decimal, we'll just write it as 180.5 degrees. We don't really usually worry about minutes and seconds, dividing the degrees up into minutes and seconds. But sometimes, in certain applications, you might need to do that. So real briefly, I'll just show you. There is a built-in way that your calculator can do that. Let's say you had 180 degrees, and you wanted, 180, let's say 180.5 degrees, and you wanted to convert that to degrees, minutes, seconds. That's what this means, degrees, minutes, seconds. So you go down here to number 4, or you could just type number 4, and it's going to spit out, okay, take 180.5 degrees, convert it to degrees, minutes, and seconds. And when you hit this, what it's going to tell you is, okay, I've got 180 degrees here because that's what's in front of the decimal, but then I have half a degree left over. So since there's 60 minutes in a degree, and I only have half a degree left over here, then there's 30 minutes of arc here, and there's obviously 0 seconds of arc left over. So if you had something crazy, 4.58724 degrees, and you wanted to convert that to degrees, minutes, seconds, you could just come down here to number 4, hit enter, do that, and you're going to have 4 degrees, because that's the 4 out here, and then what's after the decimal is just split up into 35 minutes, 14.82 seconds. And that's just a quick and dirty way to convert that. Now, if you wanted to go the reverse way, then you can also do that. If you knew, for instance, if you had a map problem, let's say, and you knew you had 7 degrees, you can hit the degree symbol like that, and you knew it was 7 degrees, let's say 12 minutes, then you could go into the angle menu, and this little prime is this little single prime here is the symbol for minutes. So 7 degrees, 12 minutes, and let's say you had 36 seconds. Well, there's nothing in the angle menu for the second, because the second is a double prime, 2 of these little guys. So we'll quit out of this. In order to get seconds, it's right here on your calculator in green right here. So alpha plus sign is going to put the double prime. So the way you read this is 7 degrees, 12 minutes, 36 seconds. You hit enter, and since we're in degrees, it's just going to convert that to 7.21 degrees. So you see what I'm saying? We don't use this too much in algebra and trigonometry and calculus, because usually we're dealing with decimals. 7.21 degrees really is what we use when we tackle equations. This kind of thing, splitting up the fractional part into minutes of arc and seconds of arc, is something that you do very rarely, but your calculator does do it, and that's why I wanted to show you that. So we have learned how to convert radians to degrees, degrees back into radians, and we've also learned how to take a degree measure and turn it into degrees, minutes, seconds, and vice versa. And that about wraps up this section. Very nice little functions in your calculator, can save you a lot of time on your test and on your homework.